Hello, everyone, and I want to thank you in advance for watching. So, this so happens to be all about me, Jazmin, but you can also call me Jazmin Lee. Named after a beautiful shrub that smells oh so lovely, and a middle name that's passed down from my granddaddy Teddy. Um, my entrance into this world is actually pretty cool, or at least I think so, and people, when I usually tell them, they think so as well. So, my birthday is June 27th. On June 27th, 1998, my parents were preparing for my sister's first birthday. They were going to have a party at the house, so everyone, all of our family came, all of their friends came. They were ready to party for my sister's first birthday. So everything is going good. Everybody's partying, everybody's having a good time. My sister's having a good time. My parents are happy. And everything's going good, and it comes time for the smash cake and for my mom to cut the cake for the regular guests. So my sister does her little smash cake thing, and it's now time for my mom to cut the cake. So my mom goes to cut the cake for the guests, and when she goes to cut the cake for the guests, she feels her water breaks. So her water breaks in mid-cut, and she was at first just so in awe, like, never is this happening to me right now. And everyone was just kind of confused, like, what's going on? Like, why are you looking like that? Why aren't you cutting the cake? Pretty much. And my mom screamed out, "Oh my gosh, my water just broke." And everybody was like, unbelievable, like, this is crazy, like, never did your water just break. You're not due until like July 8th, right? But it was true, her water broke, and my dad rushed her immediately to the emergency room to deliver the baby. And to your surprise, that baby was me. So yes, I am my sister's best gift that she has ever received yet. My parents are from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Just to give a little backdrop of the infamous parents who made me and did such an incredible thing, like 2 kids on the same day, exactly 1 year apart. Doesn't happen pretty often. So yeah, they're pretty incredible. So these incredible people came from Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's a small town in Indiana, but to us it's home. I'm not originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but it feels like I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana, because although my parents migrated to Chicago, my family still lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So by my family, I mean like immediate family, all my cousins, my grandmas, my grandpa, my cousins, first cousins. Like, Fort Wayne is my family hub. So that's pretty much home for me. But I grew up in South Holland, Illinois, which is also another small town in Illinois, on the south suburbs. It's about 20 to 25 minutes away from the city of Chicago. So I was kind of reserved, but not too far from the city. I was able to get there pretty quickly, and in Chicago, it's a very small, everyone knows everyone, so you get to see a lot of different parts of Chicago. But I spent a lot of time in the car going to Fort Wayne, which is only 3 hours away. So we took a lot of family trips back and forth to Fort Wayne for family functions, birthdays, anything. They were just trying to get back to Fort Wayne. So I grew up in South Holland, Illinois. Like I said, in South Holland, it's kind of like a 3-step plan in South Holland. They have their own middle school, elementary school, and high school. So you kind of usually stick to that and follow those schools until it's time for you to go to college. but I kind of took a different route. So I started off at the town elementary school. I did that from K to third, and then from third grade I went to the town's middle school, which is fourth grade through sixth grade. Well, no, fourth grade through eighth grade. Yeah, fourth through eighth grade. So I went to the town's middle school, McKinley Junior High, fourth through sixth grade. In the beginning of my sixth grade year, I was at McKinley, which is the town's middle school, but shortly after I transferred out, my mom wanted me to be homeschooled. She wanted me to form my own identity, being that me and my sister are so close in age, and we go to the same school. It was just kind of hard for me to develop me and actually be me, because I was trying to mirror my sister in a great way, though. Like, she's a great role model, so I was definitely trying to mirror her. But my mom wanted me to just know, like, it's okay to be you. Like, you can have your own identity. So I went to Freedom Home Academy, which is an amazing now it's a charter / private school. But when I was there, it was very small. I was there when it first kind of started. We first started in, the founder, Marcus Klein, he started this school in his basement with only one student and his godson. So the student is his son and his godson. And he was just like, you know what? The system isn't made for us. Like, these textbooks aren't made for African American children, and they need to know their African American history. So Freedom Home Academy is a Afrocentric based school, so you learn all of the real history of our ancestors. Also, it is very advanced. Like, I know when my first day there, my mind was blown. I saw 5-year-olds reciting without looking at any papers or any posters, reciting all of the lobes in the brain. They knew all of the cities in Africa. It was just mind-blowing to me, because I personally had never seen anyone younger than 10 that could, even if 10, could recite that type of information through memory. So I was very blown away, and I knew, like, okay, this is where I need to be. So at first, of course, I didn't want to go. I mean, who wants to be torn away from their friends and everyone they know at such a developing age, which was sixth grade for me. But it turned out great, and I became a better person, and I was blessed to become me, and actually me, and form my own identity. So I love that part. Also, my mom was nice enough to let me go back to McKinley. Now, McKinley is the town middle school. About the last quarter of my 8th grade year to graduate with my friends. So it worked out pretty well. I was happy. Didn't have any complaints. Wouldn't do it again any other way. So from 8th grade, I graduated with my friends at the local middle school, and I went on to go to a selective enrollment school in the city named Martin Luther King Jr. High School Preparatory School. So I did that my freshman year, but it was kind of too far. The distance was too far. So my sophomore year, I returned to South Holland, and I went to the local high school, which was named Thornwood High School. So sophomore year through senior year, I attended Thornwood High School. I was pretty active at Thornwood High School, I would say. I did cheerleading, softball, and my sophomore year, I joined the speech team. The speech team kind of is why I'm even at Clark Atlanta in a way. When I joined the speech team, I became a radio broadcaster, and that was my main event. So, speech team was pretty much you go and compete in different events, and the event that I competed in was radio broadcasting. So at first, I wasn't really too interested. I had accompanied my friend to the auditions, and I was just like, okay, yeah, girl, I'll audition with you, like, whatever. I know I'm not gonna do it. So I went up there to audition. I think I want to say I auditioned for improv, and they immediately stopped me and asked me to read if I would be comfortable reading a news piece that they have prepared. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll read it, it's whatever. And as soon as I started speaking, about 30 seconds in, the guy immediately stopped me, and I'm thinking he's stopping me because I'm doing terrible. I'm just not knowing why he stopped me. But he stopped me and told me, like, you're perfect. Your voice is perfect. I want you on my team as a radio broadcaster. Like, please consider joining. So at first I'm like, okay, I'll go. They said the practice isn't until 2 weeks, so I'll go. I ended up attending the practices, and I fell in love. I've always been pretty social. I've always been a social individual. Growing up, my teachers used to always complain to my parents, like, she's such a social butterfly, great student, but she talks too much, pretty much. And it was like, it was nothing I could do. They used to always move me around so I wouldn't sit by certain people to talk, but it was like anywhere I went, I couldn't not talk. Like, that's me. I love talking. But I've never realized, like, what can I do with talking? So, radio broadcasting assured me that I'll be able to do something as a career for the rest of my life. And I'll be able to do it by doing something that I actually love. Like, I love talking. And I could use this skill to my advantage and actually make this my career. So I started pursuing radio broadcasting my sophomore year. I knew, like, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. What do I have to do to make it possible? So I continued to do radio broadcasting with the speech team. I stayed on the news, like, just stayed watching the news, listening to broadcasters, to radio broadcasters. Like, I just wanted to become better, and I just wanted to do radio broadcasting. So that's kind of how I got into radio broadcasting. From how I ended up at Clark Atlanta, I would say is I knew that I wanted to do radio broadcasting, like I said. And while I was looking up schools to attend for radio broadcasting, Clark Atlanta was the first thing that popped up online. And I made that school my number one choice. Like, I didn't want to go anywhere but Clark Atlanta. And I eventually got the Clark Atlanta red folder acceptance letter in my mailbox. And I opened it, and they said, you have been accepted. And I cried. I really did. But yes, so now I am here at Clark Atlanta. I'm a sophomore mass media major with a concentration in radio, TV, broadcasting. What I want to do with that degree is actually be a news anchor or a sports reporter, something along those lines. Preferably a news anchor. I just love broadcasting. I really do. I love how radio has evolved in so many different ways. I also want to be a part of the evolvement of radio. I have a pretty couple cool ideas. I'll only share with you guys one, because y'all can't be taking my good ideas. So my one idea that I want to do to help advance and grow radio is, everybody hates listening to the radio nowadays, or at least my generation, because it's just, they play the same stuff or they're not playing what you want to hear, and they have too many commercials. So my way of making it better would be simply being able to click to the next song. Like, say you're listening to your favorite radio station. I'm from Chicago, so my favorite radio station is 92.3. So say I'm listening to 92.3 and a song comes on and I don't really like it. I could simply hit a button to go to the next song, and the next song that the radio will have lined up. And I'll be able to just keep clicking until it's something I like, preferably more so, that's what they would have to have lined up, but that would be better than just roaming the channels until you finally find a station that plays something you like. Then you hit on that station, and then you just catch the end of that song that you like, and now you're flipping through to find another station. So, to avoid all of those problems, my idea, I think, would be very convenient. So, I have given you guys a lot of information about me, not too much, but a lot, for you to know exactly who I am. So, once again, thank you all for listening and taking the time out to watch. And don't forget this face nor this name. I am Jazmin Lewis. Thank you.